everyone, welcome to today's Vinyasa class. This is going to be a really nice wholesome Vinyasa working around the body where I'm going to be giving you as many options as I can throughout your practice. So just always checking in with yourself and seeing what option you're going to benefit the most from today. I'm going to be using a couple of blocks in my practice today, and when you're ready, let's get started in our child's pose. So making your way to all fours on your mat. And sending those hips heavy back to the heels, resting your forehead down in your own time, getting out any of those last little wiggles in the hips, any last movements. Once you're there, you can soften your shoulders, your upper arm, and your lower arm. Taking a nice full breath in. And out. Once more, full breath in. And out. Just taking a couple more breaths here, allowing yourself to tune in to your breathing today. Really finding a bit more length on those inhales and exhales just through your nose. Starting to fill up through the back of the body, the front of the body, all the way down into the belly. Really expanding that breath. On your next inhale, lift your head up, slide yourself back to your all fours tabletop position, and let's start with our cat-cow movements. So inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your heart, and exhale, chin to chest, press through the hands. Good, keep on flowing through these movements like we normally do, just at your own pace. Being mindful of how you're feeling today. Remembering you can add in any extras here if you want to, maybe wiggling the hips, maybe circular movements, whatever feels right today. Making this your last one. As you inhale, bring your spine back to neutral, and exhale, start your rocking movements to warm through your wrists. Maybe changing up the directions of the wrists here as you want to, taking it a bit deeper. Just remember to keep spreading those fingers nice and wide. Can feel quite nice as well to press down into the fingertips and just roll along those big knuckles. Good. When you're ready, come to your first downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, hips up and back, pressing through the hands, pedaling the legs there, doing some movements to get you into this downward facing dog. Working out through the backs of the legs, just finding that bit more space. And then when you're ready, just finding a bit more stillness here, pushing through the hands, find that length in the spine, taking a full breath. And then walking your hands back to your feet at the back of your mat. Dangling over your legs in your Uttanasana, hands to elbows, or relax arms heavy to the ground. Maybe taking a gentle sway side to side might feel nice. Just really letting your head be heavy, your neck be heavy, your face to relax. As you inhale, bring yourself to your fingertips underneath your shoulders. Maybe your fingertips are to your blocks if you want a bit more space. Pop a little bend into the left knee as you inhale, right arm stretches to the ceiling. Exhale, right hand comes down, bend into right knee, inhale, left arm stretches up. Good. Left hand comes down, one more each side. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale down, inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand down. We're going to walk ourselves back out to our downward facing dog. Shift the weight forwards. You're going to hover your knees just a couple of inches above your mat. So like you're on all fours, but just hovering the knees here. Holding there. Keep pressing through the hands, drawing navel to spine. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees down to the mat. Inhale, right arm stretches towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left armpit, bringing the shoulder down to the mat. So a few options to take it deeper here if you want to. Maybe you're stretching your fingertips forwards or sending behind for a half bind. If you want to take it even deeper, then maybe you could step that left foot out towards the left-hand side and stretch that left arm behind you, just taking it for a bit of a deeper stretch here. Really tuning back into that breath wherever you are. Good. Bring that left hand back down to the mat. Left leg comes back in if it's not already. Inhale, right arm to the ceiling. Exhale, right hand down. Swapping sides. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread it underneath. Shoulder comes down to the mat. Resting the head down. And again, taking any of those options on this side that you might have taken on the other side. Maybe stepping that right foot out, again, landing it on its sole. If you're stepping that right foot out, just make sure you have that right hand on the mat to support you stepping it out. And then you can take any of those arm variations if you want to. Rolling that right shoulder away from your face. 2 more breaths. Bring that right hand back down to the mat. Right leg comes in. Inhale, left arm to the ceiling. Exhale, lower your left hand down. Make your way back to seated on your heels. You're going to interlace your hands behind your back here. As you inhale, reach the knuckles down towards the earth as you puff up through your chest. You could stay here. That could be enough of a stretch into the front of the chest for you. Or you could bring your torso to your thighs. Forehead comes down to the mat. Lifting those hands up off your back. Thinking about reaching your knuckles away from you. And then if you want to, you could come into your rabbit. So rolling onto the crown of your head if that feels good. Just being nice and careful of your neck here. And exhale, lower the hips back down to the heels. Releasing the interlace of the hands. Making your way back to all fours. And then coming to downward facing dog again. Big breath here. Inhale, step or walk your feet to the top of your mat. Halfway lift flat back, reach forwards with your crown. Exhale, soften and fold over your legs. Inhale, bend your knees, swoop the arms and rise tall. Exhale, folding over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, really reach forwards with the crown, back with the tailbone. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, swoop the arms tall, rising up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. This time, exhale, bend knees, plant hands, step back, high plank. Lower your knees down to your mat, and then lower all the way down. Inhale to your cobra, hug the elbows in, lift the chest, squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale, lower. Inhale to all fours. As you exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Big breath. Shuffle your feet together. Inhale, swoop right leg high. Exhale, step right foot outside of right hand. Lower your back knee down. Now we're going to find a bit of a flow here. So I want you to inhale, reach your right arm up to the ceiling and just slightly back towards your back foot. And then as you exhale, you're going to close that right arm in towards you, sending your hips back whilst you lengthen your right leg. Good, and again, inhale, bend into the knee, reach the arm back. And then exhale, close it in, lengthen right leg. Just keep on flowing between these movements. If you need a bit more space, then you can grab hold of one of your blocks or books and just place it underneath that left hand. So this should feel really good into your hips, your shoulders, your hamstrings. Wonderful. Making this your last one. Bring that right hand back down underneath your shoulder. You're going to pick that back knee up off your mat. Walk yourself round to the left-hand side and towards the back of your mat so you can take your skandasana towards the back. So squatting down towards that left-hand side, keeping that right leg nice and long, flexing the right toes to the ceiling. Don't worry if you're not sinking all the way down here. Maybe you're up on the ball of the left foot, using those hands to help you. Maybe your hands are to prayer at your heart center. Breathing there, take a full breath. Hands come back down to the mat. Walk yourself all the way back towards the top and step it back to downward facing dog. Wonderful. Full breath. Inhale, rise high to the balls of your feet, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend your knees, step, walk, hop to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, swoop the arms tall, rising up. Exhale, folding over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Vinyasa, however you wish this time. Or you can come straight to your downward facing dog, lowering towards the mat as you inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Shuffle your feet together. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, step left foot outside, left hand. Back knee lowers down. Inhale, stretch left arm up and reach back. And then exhale, close it in, lengthen left leg long. Good, again, flow between these movements. If you need that space again, block comes underneath the right hand. Breathing between those movements, just finding a bit more space in your body. Wonderful. Making this your last one. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Pick that back knee up off the mat. Walk yourself round to the long side briefly over towards the back of your mat to take your Skandasana again. Using those hands to help you here. Maybe you're on the ball of that right foot. That's okay. Maybe hands are to pray at your heart center. Really think about flexing those left toes towards the ceiling, giving you a bit of a deeper stretch into that inner thigh. Having a nice lot of space for your chest here. Big inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Walk yourself back towards the top of your mat and step it back to downward facing dog. Big breath. Inhale, rise high, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend knees, step, walk, hop to top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend knees, swoop arms tall, rise up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take your Vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Don't feel like you have to take these. Good job. Coming to that downward facing dog in your own time, just taking your time to really work through those Vinyasa movements if you're doing them. Shuffle your feet together. Inhale, right leg goes high. Exhale, step right foot between the hands. Help it there if you need to. Back foot plants to 45 as you rise up, warrior one. So hips are nice and square to the top of your mat. Think about drawing that right hip back, left hip forwards. Draw your ribs in and down. Lengthen through the sides of your waist as you reach towards the ceiling. Taking an inhale, bend into that front knee. And as you exhale, you're going to open up towards the left-hand side. Come to your warrior two. Plant the back foot to face the long side of the mat. Inhale there. And as you exhale, maybe sink a bit deeper into that front knee. Good. When you're ready, you're going to reverse your warrior. Fingertips down the back thigh. Right arm stretches over. Inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to lengthen your front leg. Hinge yourself forwards. Right fingertips come down to your shin, the floor, or a block or book. Left arm to the ceiling, coming to your Trikonasana, your triangle pose. If you want to stretch that left arm overhead here, taking it a bit deeper, then you can. Maybe sending that left arm behind, reaching for the top of the right thigh, taking a half bind if you want to. Just really thinking about lifting that front right kneecap and keeping that quad engaged. Good. You're going to start to bend into your front right knee. Bring that left hand to your hip. Fingertips or block come forwards and to the right hand side slightly. Send your weight into your right leg, left leg into the air. Open your hips and chest to the side as you open up into your half moon. Good. Keeping those right toes facing the top of the mat for your support. Nice strong standing leg, drawing that hip back and into the midline. Press your back heel away from you. Option to stay here or to start to bend into your back knee, catching your foot with your hand. If you've caught your foot with your hand, you could think about pressing that foot in towards the hand, taking it a bit deeper. Good. Wherever you are, as you exhale, slowly release. Left fingertips come down. Square your hips off, taking a standing split at the top of your mat. Pointing those left toes, drawing your torso in towards that standing leg, taking it a little bit deeper. Maybe even bringing that that right hand behind your right ankle to draw yourself in a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale. You're going to bend into your front knee, land your back toes down all the way behind you. You're going to come to a low lunge. So lower the back knee down to the mat. Set yourself up. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Make sure you're not on that tightrope here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, twist towards the right hand side, reach those arms out nice and wide, horizontal. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you bring your hands to prayer at your heart center and take a prayer twist, hooking the elbow towards the outside of the knee. Remember, think about taking that twist from your navel up, revolving open through the shoulders. Squeeze those inner thighs. Take a full breath. Exhale, release, come back to center, frame your top foot, step back, high plank, either take a vinyasa or come to downward facing dog. Wonderful, taking a full breath here in your downward facing dog. Inhale, rise high to the balls of the feet, gaze forwards. Exhale, bend your knees, step, walk, hop to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, forwards with the crown. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, bend your knees, swoop your arms tall, rising up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, vinyasa or downward facing dog. Taking your time, working through those movements, taking a full breath in your downward facing dog once you're there. Inhale, shift your weight forwards, lower your knees down to your mat. Untuck your toes, come to your child's pose, resting your forehead down. Just taking a little moment here to check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling. You're doing really well. You're about halfway through your practice. Hopefully your body's feeling really good. Your mind is focused. Relaxing through your face, your jaw. Two more breaths here. As you inhale, lift your head, bring yourself back to all fours. As you exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Shuffle your feet together. Inhale, left leg goes high. Exhale, step left foot between the hands. Back foot to 45, rise up, warrior one. Bend into that front knee, reach those fingers nice and tall. Take an inhale. As you exhale, open up towards the right hand side, warrior two. Pivot that back foot to face the long side. Arms horizontal, broaden your collarbones, take an inhale. Exhale, sink a bit deeper into that front knee. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Left arm stretches over. And exhale, lengthen your front leg. Hinge yourself forwards, fingertips to your shin, the ground, or a block or book on the inside of your foot. Right arm to the ceiling, Trikonasana, your triangle pose. Maybe stretching that right arm overhead. Maybe you're taking a half bind, sending that arm behind, reaching for the top of the thigh. If you are, think about rolling that shoulder away from your face. Breathing there, one more breath. Bend into your front knee, send your fingertips forwards and to the left-hand side. Toes are facing the top of the mat. Weight goes into the left leg, right leg into the air. Pressing that back heel away from you. Maybe that right hand stays to your hip for balance. Maybe you stretch it towards the ceiling. Option to kick that back foot towards your hand, catching it again if you want to. Keep rooting down through that standing leg. One more breath. Slowly release, right fingertips come down, square your hips off, taking a standing split at the top of your mat, pointing those right toes. Maybe folding that torso a bit deeper towards your standing leg. Maybe you're grabbing hold of behind your ankle to draw yourself in. Start to bend into your front knee, land your back toes down, all the way behind you. You're going to rise up to a low lunge, so back knee comes down. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Stretch those fingers nice and tall. Squeeze those inner thighs, take an inhale. Exhale, twist towards left hand side, reach those arms out horizontal. Maybe you stay here, maybe you bring your hands to prayer at heart center and hook your elbow towards the outside of the knee, plugging those hands together. Breathing there. Exhale, release, frame your top foot, step yourself back to downward facing dog, and take a big breath. Shuffle your feet together. Inhale, right leg goes high. Exhale, draw your right knee towards your right wrist. Lower your shin down. Shimmy your foot across towards your left hip and lower yourself down into your pigeon pose. So if you need a bit of support underneath that right hip here, then feel free to do so. If you're finding that you're a little bit lifted, squaring those hips towards the top of your mat. And then as you exhale, if you want to, you can fold yourself forwards over that front shin, maybe coming down to the forearms, maybe resting onto your blocks, your props. Taking 3 nice full breaths here. As you inhale, walking those hands back in towards you. You're going to swing that back left leg all the way round in front of you, lengthening your left leg long. You're going to bring the sole of your right foot towards the inside of your thigh. Square yourself towards your extended leg. Press that left heel away from you as you inhale, stretching up tall. And exhale, soften towards that left leg. Grab hold of what you can on the way down. It might be your thigh, your shin, your foot. Taking that Janusarasana. Noticing if you're clenching onto your jaw here, just seeing if you can part the teeth slightly. Inhale, make your way back up to seated. Bring the sole of your right foot back to the mat. Bring that left hand behind you. Pivot your left foot onto its pinky toe edge. You're going to root down as you inhale, lift the hips up, coming into your wild thing. So really squeezing those glutes, those inner thighs, lifting your chest. Inhale. And exhale, slowly, gently lower yourself all the way back down to your mat. Coming down to lying on your back, you're going to hug your knees in towards your chest, giving them that nice big hug in towards you. Taking a rock from side to side, massage your spine. Make some circles. And then sliding your hands behind your thighs. You're going to rock yourself back and forth along your spine, finding your way all the way to your feet, and then maybe taking a vinyasa, or you can just step back to downward facing dog. So whatever you wish to work through here, either vinyasa or downward facing dog. Big breath once you're there. Shuffle the feet together. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee to left wrist, lowering the shin down. We're going to swap sides. So shimmy yourself into your pigeon again, using any props that you might need to here underneath that left hip. Staying on your fingertips if you want to, or as you exhale, you could soften and fold yourself forwards onto the forearms, onto your props. One more breath. Slowly make your way back up to your hands. Swing your back leg all the way round in front of you. Right leg's lengthened long, sole of the left foot to the inside of the thigh. Inhale, stretch up nice and tall. Exhale, folding towards your extended leg, grabbing hold of what you can on the way down. Tuning back into that breathing. Maybe with each exhale, just allowing yourself to soften a little bit more. Inhale, make your way back up to seated. Sole of the left foot comes to the mat. Right hand behind. Pinky side edge of right foot comes down. Inhale, root down as you lift the hips up, coming to your wild thing, scooping that left arm overhead. Squeeze your glutes. Take a nice big inhale. And exhale, slowly, gently lower yourself all the way back down to the mat. Make your way down to lying on your back, knees come in towards the chest. Slide the hands behind your thighs. Rock yourself back and forth along your spine. This time, find your way to your feet and then just step back to downward facing dog. Last downward facing dog. Taking a big breath. Lower your knees down to the mat and rise yourself up to kneeling on your mat. Good. Have your toes tucked under at the back. There's going to be a couple of options here to come into some variations of your camel pose. So I want you to think about squeezing your inner thighs together and firming your glutes here. So your glutes are going to be your brakes. Bring your hands to your lower back, your fingertips facing up. Think about hugging your elbows in. And as you inhale, think about that piece of string that's on your chest. Imagine that string is lifting your chest towards the ceiling. So instead of thinking about bending yourself backwards, I want you to really think more about that lifting sensation towards the ceiling. So you can inhale, think about lifting your chest up, drawing your shoulders back, squeezing your glutes. That's option one. Option two, you can grab hold of one of your blocks and place it on the outside of your ankle. Again, still squeezing the inner thighs, squeezing the glutes. You can bring your hand to your block, squeeze the inner thighs and the glutes, and as you inhale, swooping that left arm overhead. So taking either of those options, holding it there wherever you are. Take a nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, using your strength, your glutes, your core, bring yourself back up. And then we're going to swap sides. If you were doing the one with the fingertips to the back, you can just come into that one again. As you inhale, swooping the right arm over, squeezing the glutes and the inner thighs, using your brakes. Inhale. And then exhale, use your strength, bring yourself back up, take a child's pose, untuck your toes, hips to heels, knees together on this one. And if you want to send the hands back to cup the heels here, then you can. Relaxing your shoulders for a moment. Two more breaths. As you inhale, lift your head up, slide yourself to a forearm tabletop position. We're going to come into our dolphin pose. Sending your hands across to your biceps, make sure you're shoulder width in distance, then reach the hands back out. Spread them nice and wide. Root through your forearms and your elbows as you lift up through your chest. Tuck your toes, send the hips up and back, and gaze back to your thighs. Option to hold in your dolphin or to come into your headstand here if you want to, if you know where you're going. If you're building the confidence with that headstand, then feel free to have that wall behind you. If you're coming into that headstand, again, make sure you're shoulder width in distance, bringing the crown of your head down onto your mat, rooting through those forearms and elbows still, tucking your toes under, lift the hips up, stepping the feet in so you're stacking those hips over the shoulders, and then maybe drawing one foot in, then maybe the other. Maybe you could hang out in your egg shape today. Just keep rooting through the forearms. Or maybe you're going to lengthen those legs towards the ceiling. Squeezing the inner thighs, pointing the toes. And then slowly lower yourself back down the way you came up. Wherever you are, coming back to that child's pose in your own time. Resting your forehead. Just taking a couple of moments here, checking in with yourself, noticing how you're feeling. Bring yourself back to all fours and twizzle yourself round to seated. Come down to lying on your back. Once you're there, we're going to hug the right knee in towards our chest. Lengthen your left leg long. Give it a nice big squeeze in towards you. And then let that right knee flop over towards the left hand side, coming into your supine twist. So relax that right arm to a cactus arm. Maybe that left hand comes to the top thigh. Good, then bring yourself back to center. Lengthen your right leg long. Squeeze that left knee in. Give it a nice big squeeze in. And then let that left knee flop over to the right hand side, changing the sides of your twist. Bring yourself back to center. Hug both your knees in towards your chest. Give them a nice big squeeze in. Take a little rock from side to side. Massage your back, your spine. And then you're going to roll yourself onto the side of your body and push yourself up to seated on your mat. Coming to a cross-leg seated position, sitting up nice and tall, finding that length in your spine. Soften the shoulders. As you inhale, swooping your arms tall, give yourself a nice big smile. And as you exhale, hands to prayer at your heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed your practice.